Happy Monday, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well on this Monday evening. Thank you so much for joining my channel. That's it. I really appreciate each and one of you joining in. So let's get started. Let's get started. Let's get the party started, you guys. Okay. All right, let me stop because I am not a good singer. So Candace Owens and Erika Kirk are meeting face-to-face for a private discussion. And I just want to give you my thoughts about this because, and it might, my perspective may change, but at this moment, I feel like when Candace Owens go into this conversation with Erika, she may not come out the same. Meaning that, what if Candace Owens have a different perspective? What if whatever Erika tells her that she might come back? Not Erika, but Candace, saying that she's going to drop everything. I don't know. I don't think she would, but I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. I'm not feeling the vibe. I'm not getting the vibe right now. Something doesn't feel right to me. I don't know. What do you think? Because something does not feel right. And I just wish I was a fly on the wall just to hear the conversation between those two. And, I just don't understand why now. Why did Erika Kirk had to post that message on her ex Twitter yesterday saying this, which I'm going to pull up for you guys in case you don't. Candace Owens and I are meeting for a private person discussion on Monday, December 15th. Candace Owens and I agreed that the public discussion live streams and tweets are hold until after this meeting. I'm looking forward to a productive conversation. Thank you. Then Candace Owens responded back, I'm very much looking forward to this discussion. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't like this. I don't like this at all. First, they Turning Point press on having this live stream today, and it had to be today. It had to be December 15th. Why? I do not know. When they could have done this last week or the week before, but they pressed on it to do it on the 15th. Okay, and then Blake Neff sent a message on his X account, Arizona time, around like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, that telling Candace Owens, we're going to do the live stream on December 15th, and this is how it's going to be. And when Candace Owens responded back, it didn't work for her. She has 4 small babies. She has responsibilities, and for her to go to Arizona, you want her to go face to face. You want her to do the live stream face to face, opposed to sending her a link so she can do it live online. You could easily send a link, just like everyone else do live on a video chat on a link. And when Candace Owens told them that it doesn't work for her going to Arizona to flying face to face without her team, without her husband, it's just not going to fly. And plus, she even said it on her show, Candace Owens, that her husband have people coming in, and it doesn't work for George. You know what I mean? George runs his business as well, and he's part of the team, part of Candace Owens' business. And Candace Owens is not going to go by herself, obviously. You know what I mean? She was going to have her team with her, including her husband, because her husband's part of the team, what she does for a living. And when Candace Owens responded back, listen, I'm willing to work with you guys. I'm willing to accommodate with you, but going there in person is just not going to work. So they said, oh, if it's not going to work, you know the rest, then you're just not going to participate in the live stream. And I'm like, what the hell? What is your problem? Why you guys are so insistent of her going in person when she is willing to accommodate and do it at home if you send her the link? I don't know what's the difference between doing it if you send her a link and she does it live in her own basement in her own home, opposed to doing it face to face. And a lot of people say, well, is it set up? And I believe it was. And I know people are going to say, well, they're too stupid to try to plan to kill Candace Owens. I'm like, yes, people are stupid. Someone just comment. Let's see. Turning Point decided that answering the question publicly isn't a good strategy. I understand that, but why? Thank you for responding. Then why publicly do it on a live stream then? You get what I'm saying? That's the question I'm asking. Why publicly do it live stream then? If she wanted to do it private, right? If Erika changed her mind, right? And all of a sudden yesterday she posted that on her X account, okay, that she wanted to do private. Why even? My thing is, why even say anything at all? She should have just reached out to Candace privately. She has Candace's phone number. She could easily texted Candace or call her, say, by the way, I don't think we should do the live stream publicly. Let's do it privately, one-on-one, face-to-face. Why announce it? You get what I'm saying? And then she should have done that, not announce it to the whole world that they're going to meet face-to-face. She should have just not say anything at all until Candace Owens said something the next day on her show. That's just more common sense to me. Why? You know what I mean? I just don't understand. You want it private, you want it public, then you want it private now. Now, I understand that she can change her mind because she is CEO. She's a chairwoman of Turning Point. But my thing is, why announce it then? Just didn't say anything at all. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. Let me know what you think. It doesn't make, something doesn't seem right to me. And I just hope that, Candace continue her investigation of the murder of Charlie Kirk, because nothing doesn't make sense. Everything from Turning Point to the feds, everything that they're telling us is just a lie. And I just believe that Candace Owens is getting close. She's very getting close to this investigation. And my thing is, when Erika, and this is not me bashing Erika, I just want to make this very clear, you guys. I'm not bashing her, but my thing is, when she sat down on that interview with Harrison Faulkner, I don't know if I'm saying pronouncing her last name correctly, so forgive me, that she doesn't have time, that, she's doing a lot of stuff, but she had time to do her husband's book release. She has time to do the CBS town hall meeting with Barry Weiss. She had time for all that. And now all of a sudden, the last minute, yesterday, she posted that tweet saying that now she wants to have a one-on-one discussion face-to-face with Candace. That's fine. That's great. You know what I mean? To do that. But it's just so weird that they were so adamant for her to do it, for Candace Owens to do the live stream in person. And now all of a sudden that you changing your mind, that you just want to do face-to-face. Is it that they're trying, Erika's trying to convince Candace Owens to stop investigating, to stop asking questions, to stop lying? And my thing is, you guys, what is Candace Owens lying about? That's what I would like to know. What is she lying about? Because Erika told her to stop lying. What is she lying about? Because I can tell you right now, which I have a list, and what the Turning Point are lying about. For instance, Terry Farmwood told to remove the SIM cards by the police when that was actually not true. Andrew Colvett mentioned that Charlie established Doge was not unusual, and Turning Point has financial audit the company every year since its reception. That's false. Tyler Bauer, Charlie Kirk team did not fly a drone at UVU. That's false, and I spoke about that in my previous video that's coming up. You got to check that out. So the Egyptian plane was not tracking Charlie and Erika. That's saying that's false. It's just all the lies. And then the FBI lies said that Charlie was shot with a 30-06. And I can just tell you guys right now, I'm not in military. I'm not familiar with guns. I just want to make that very clear. However, I've been watching YouTube videos of military men, hunters, who has experts in those weapons, and they can honestly say with a 30-06, no way, because it would have blew off Charlie's head. Okay, his face would have been unrecognizable. Okay, so they're saying that it's impossible for a 30-06 to kill Charlie Kirk. It was another weapon. Another thing that the feds lied about, the lover text messages mysterious present without timestamp, which is very odd, and we all know that text messages is a bunch of baloney. Okay, it's a bunch of BS, and we know that was just made up and fabricated by chat GPT, AI, or someone typed it up and made it up, because no 20-year-old, would text messages to each other that way. Another lie that the feds are telling us, that about how Tyler Robinson was arrested. They claim he confessed and turned himself in. Never revealed that Tyler Robinson was at Dairy Queen's following the assassination. He was throwing his clothes away in a cemetery next to Dairy Queen's. This is disturbing of their timeline. And then Tyler Robinson was arrested wearing a maroon shirt. This was not true. Then Tyler Robinson was suicidal, but he turned himself in. I don't get it. You want to kill yourself, or you turn yourself in? Which is it? So that's confusing to me. And the thing is, this whole footage of the mystery missing footage of Tyler Robinson turning himself in, that's missing until this day. No one doesn't know where the footage went. Why is that? Again, a lot of red flags. And it's not up to me or anyone to convince Erika Kirk who really killed her husband. She actually believed that Tyler Robinson is the shooter. She actually believed that he's the one that murdered her husband because she forgave him. Really quickly. Right there and then, she forgave him. But then she's going after Candace Owens and other people that's trying to, that are investigating, trying to get to the truth, what really happened on 9/10. And that's not up to me, up to Candace, up to anyone to convince Erika Kirk. She believes what she wants to believe. Maybe someone's telling her some bullshit narrative that they got the guy. Maybe she's believing the feds, but the feds are feeding her. That's up to her. At the end of the day, the truth will come out. But I just don't feel like, everyone should be just going so hard on this woman, like I keep saying, when she's just trying to find the truth. And everything that she's saying and posting, it just makes more sense what the feds are telling us. The feds are not telling us anything. You know what I mean? And I just hope and pray that when Candace Owens come to her show, that she will not say the investigation's over. I'm just going to put a pause on it. I just hope that's not the case, because she's a very smart and intelligent woman. She doesn't deal with intimidation. She doesn't deal with bullying. She doesn't deal with none of that stuff. Okay. I just don't like what Turning Point is doing. I don't like some of the employees, what they're doing, what they're saying, what they're not saying, what they're lying. I just feel like if you have nothing to hide, then you shouldn't lie. Okay. If you've been telling the truth the whole time, then you shouldn't be fearful or anything. But the more stuff that comes out, the more stuff that they're covering up, you look suspicious. Everyone knows it. You look suspicious, right, Apollo? They look suspicious. My daughter was just staring at me like, what are you talking about? Well, I'm talking about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. That's what I'm talking about, because everyone thinks that not everyone, but some people think that Tyler Robinson is the guy. But I'm saying he's not the guy. I believe he was not even there at UVU. Okay, was he near the area? Possible, yes. But is he the shooter? No. Was he near the campus of that day of the assassination? No. There's multiple people are involved in this, and I just don't understand why they don't want to investigate and dig up more evidence. It's like he already confessed, right? He already wrote a text messages, to his lover. So it should be a slam dunk. So I don't know why they feel like they're going to ruin the investigation, mess up the investigation. It's a slam dunk. If he turned himself in and he confessed, then what's the problem? And it's so weird that his parents signed a deed, what is that? What's that word? Non-disclosure agreement that they can't say anything. Why is that? That's just weird to me. I'm sorry if I know that my son is innocent and he did not execute a public figure like Charlie Kirk, I'm going to say something. But again, it's the feds. I don't know what the feds are telling them, the parents, not for them to say anything, just to keep their mouth shut, just to write it out, not for your son to say anything when he clearly didn't even say anything. He didn't even confess. He didn't even say that he was guilty. You know what I mean? So it seemed like, they're protecting someone, obviously Tyler Robinson, and Tyler Robinson is protecting his family because he's not saying anything. You know what I mean? I feel like the feds got to them. They told him something, make them fearful just to shut them up, that they're going to handle this. But we should know that you should never trust the feds. You should never trust the feds, because the feds only protect themselves. They only protect themselves, and that's the bottom line is. And I'm just sorry. I just don't like this at all, but I guess we all have to wait and see what's going to happen after this meeting is over. But I just believe that I just know that Candace Owens not in Arizona right now. They're probably doing a face-to-face during Zoom or a live, not a live chat, but an actually what you call it. Maybe Erica's at her home. I don't know. I'm just very curious. I just wish I was a fly on the wall. Thank you so much for referring, Maxine. You said Charlie Kirk was turning on the pro-Israel cause. Erika would know that, but she is doing the opposite from him and going back to the donors. Her turn on. That's what doesn't make sense to me. I absolutely agree with you because what Charlie Kirk started and what he represents is a complete opposite what Erika Kirk is doing. I just don't understand why. It's like you say that you're trying to save your husband's legacy, but you're not doing that. You're doing the complete opposite, like what Maxine's saying. You know what I mean? It's like you're taking the money from the donor and you go into pro-Israel when your husband was against it because it was trying to bully him. They bully him. You know what I mean? And she's doing a complete opposite, which I don't like. You know what I mean? And I'm just going to read to you this text message, which is super important, which I should have pulled up. And this is Charlie Kirk's message. Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice to leave the pro-Israel cause. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And then Erika's doing the complete opposite. For money? Like, that's not, representing your husband's legacy. They bullied your husband. You know what I mean? Because Charlie Kirk had a different stance about pro-Israel. And now you just trying to take money from the same people that bully your husband. And for what? For money? For the donors? I just don't understand that. And again, I'm not trying to be insensitive of Erika Kirk. Obviously, like I said in my previous video, she's a grieving widow. But with that being said, she is the CEO. You got to separate the two. She was appointed to CEO, chairwoman of Turning Point. If she was not ready because she wanted to be more equipped to it, be more knowledgeable about it, then she should have just take a step back and have someone control the business for the time being until she's up to par, with the organization. But she took that role, she took that responsibility. Now everything is on her shoulders, and then she has that obligation, that duty to answer the questions, because we're not stopping. And it's our right to ask these questions and demand some answers, because the feds are not giving us the answers. Turning Point employees not giving it the answers. They're just being so defensive and lying. To me, when you're defensive and lying, you have something to hide. You have something to hide. And we don't like it, and we can see that. And then by, calling Candace Owens names and saying that she's crazy, or other people that's talking about it, that they're crazy, or they're trying to make money, that's being hypocritical here, okay? Because Turning Point was making money when Charlie Kirk died, okay? Selling his T-shirts, doing the memorial, like it was a WWE Marina, you know what I mean? They were doing all that. They were making $40 or $80 million promoting his death. And then they had the audacity to say people from YouTubers are making money. They're making profit of Charlie Kirk. No one's not making profit. Everyone wants to know the truth. Everyone's trying to get to the bottom of the truth. That's not making money. That's just facts. Okay? And you cannot put it back on us because you're doing the same thing. People are not doing that. You know what I mean? People are really invested and really want to know what really happened to Charlie Kirk and why, and what was the motive. That is the honest truth. People really want to know. Not for money, because if you guys were not doing it for money, then you wouldn't be selling T-shirts. You wouldn't be selling merchant. You wouldn't be selling none of that stuff. But you guys did, to keep the business going, to keep the machine going. And what's weird, they're still tweeting and posting stuff under Charlie Kirk's name. The man is gone. That's just weird and creepy to me. Everything Turning Point USA has done has been an attempt to shut Candace up. This meeting will keep the same agenda. I pray and hope it's not the case, because, Candace, she's very smart. She's very particular. And like I said, she's playing chess Turning Point's playing checkers. Okay. Now, obviously, Erika has the upper hand because she reached out on her ex and reached out to Candace, which she could have done that privately. Why do it publicly? Again, like I said, you can't have both. You can't have it both ways. You can't say I want to be private, then I want to be public. Public, private. It's one or the other. You can't have it both ways. So I hope and pray that Candace Owens obviously listen to Erika Kirk, listen to what she has to say. Erika Kirk listened to Candace Owens, what she has to say, and they both will come to a middle ground that Candace Owens will continue to investigate the death of Charlie Kirk and not back down. We should not be backing down because none of this narrative makes sense, you guys. We all know this. None of it makes sense. And I just hope and pray that when Candace Owens goes on her show, that she will tell us what really happened of the conversation. Maybe she can't tell us everything, but she will continue on with this investigation and let us know what really happened. And I just want to show this video. Not video, this picture. This does not look like Tyler Robinson. I'm sorry. The picture is very blurry. You cannot see. Let me just pull it up so I can just show you. Does that look like Tyler Robinson? You can't even see the face. You see sunglasses, eagle, American flag with an eagle, a black t-shirt, a black cap, and a black sunglasses. You can't even. It's to me. It doesn't even look like Tyler Robinson, and that's what the Fed gave us. This slop. Okay, it don't even look like him. We all can see this. It doesn't look like Tyler Robinson. It looks like someone else. But the feds want us to believe that was Tyler Robinson, when we all can see, because we all have eyes, that does not look like him. It doesn't. So I don't know what to make of this. I don't know what the FBI is doing. Kash Patel, I keep saying that he should be fired. He's just useless. And I'm just so sick and tired of, let me pull this up, sorry. Get rid of this, sorry. I'm just so sick and tired that Kash Patel, and this is no disrespect to Erika. Who else? Brian Hartpole. These interviews that they go to, and then the people interview them. It's just soft questions. Okay, like I don't understand. They're not giving them hard questions, and I don't know. It was although the interviews probably pre-recorded. Obviously, the question that were given to them, they already knew ahead of time. And to me, that's not authentic. If you already know the questions ahead of time, to me, in my mind, you preparing yourself of the answers that they're giving you. It's like basically, it's like taking a test. You already know what the test is, and you're just basically cheating. That's how I see it. You know what I mean? Like, why have the questions ahead of time, what they're going to ask you? Just be authentic and be yourself. And I just feel like with Kash Patel, he's fake. Okay, questions were given to him. Like Megyn Kelly, she didn't even ask the hard questions. She just asked like the bare minimum. Brian too, the head security of Charlie. When Sean Ryan interviewed him, no hard questions. I don't understand it. They're just so afraid to ask or to get pushback. That's what it's all about when you do interviews. You ask the tough questions. You're not accusing them, but it makes sense to ask hard questions and for them to answer these questions. You know what I mean? Like when Erika Kirk said, well, when she was talking to Glenn Beck, that Charlie Kirk, he never texted that they are trying to kill him. When Frank Turek confirmed that. Andrew Corvette confirmed that with Candace Owens. Okay? Glenn Beck, he even knew. And when Erika told Glenn Beck that, oh, my husband did not get that text, that they trying to kill him, you should have seen the look in his face like, why are you lying? But he couldn't say anything because Erika Kirk is a grieving widow, rightfully so. But someone is lying. So who is it? You know what I mean? Because Erika saying that, well, no one had threatened my husband, but more than a few people are saying that, yes, that is true. There is a text message that Charlie said they are trying to kill me. Who is they? We don't know. I believe, and I don't like to make, I'm just going to say allegedly, I believe that the Israel have something to do with it, among other people too, in our government. They know who killed Charlie, but they're not saying anything. It's okay because every time they speak, they expose their own lies. Exactly. I agree with you 100%. And you know what? And I keep saying this, when things are hidden in the dark, God is going to bring it to the light. And he always does. You know what I mean? Just like they lied about COVID, just like they lied about the Epstein files. There's no Epstein files. It's all a host. It's a Democrat host. Just like they lied about George Floyd. You know what I mean? They lied about so many things, and it's catching up. The attempted assassination of Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania last year. We still don't know. Again, cover up. You know what I mean? It's just consistent of cover up after cover up after cover up, and then they think that we're stupid, we're dumb, we don't know what's going on. They're trying to feed us this narrative BS. Well, I don't believe it. I know you don't believe it. I know none of us don't believe it. I really don't. And it's just sad that we can't come together and see what's really going on. Like, we all have common sense here. We all that something doesn't seem right. Now, I'm not saying that everyone should agree with Candace Owens. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff that she says, okay, it can be out there. But if we put our common sense, put our thinking caps and use our common sense, some of the stuff, and you can do your own research, is more logical what the feds are telling us. And I don't understand that. Like, they're going so hard on this woman when the whole thing doesn't make any sense. It's just like any investigation. When like what happened like this past weekend at Brown University, the school got shot. You know what I mean? And they're still looking for that suspect who shot the students. What they do, you do your investigation. You do your investigation and you rule everyone out who may be the suspect. And I just feel like the feds did this so that Tyler Robinson is a suspect. That's it. They're not checking Charlie Kirk's phone. They're not checking the Turning Point's employees. They're not checking the money. I don't understand. Follow the money. When you follow the money, then you know the motive. But they're not doing that. They feel like Turning Point can't do anything wrong. Again, they're afraid of the Jewish donors because that's money involved. So I believe the government knows what's going on and they're not being transparent with us because it doesn't make any sense. Charlie Kirk was a public figure. Okay. And for me, for them to not to do their investigation to find out the truth, what really happened to Charlie Kirk, to me, that means they're hiding something. To me, we're not getting clear answers. To me, you just want to pin it on an innocent man that had nothing to do with the shooting. Did he have some type of involvement? Yes. Did he shoot Charlie Kirk? No, I don't believe he did. And they know this. And they're willing to let this man take the rap for it. And I'm glad that he appeared in court last week because now we know he's alive. He's not dead. They're not trying to kill him. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing. You know, I still don't know, which I told you guys when I did my video that I was going to keep you posted if the judge is going to allow cameras in the courtroom. I still don't know yet. It's still debatable. They should allow cameras in the courtroom because we want transparency. We want audit. They should, but it's still not determined yet if the judge is going to allow that. I hope he does because I feel like it's the right thing to do because the feds are not telling us anything, and it's just crazy. I'm just so curious what the conversation between Candace and Erika. I'm really curious. I just wish I was so damn fly. I'm just hoping for the best, you guys. I don't know. I'm praying. I'm hoping for the best that, that Candace will continue this investigation. She's getting so close, you guys. She's getting so close. I can feel it. She's getting close and she should not stop. And anyone else that's investigating this, they should not stop either. I am very close to this case, and I've been doing my research and in my own investigation as well, and we should not stop. We should not stop because this is super important that this should not be swept underneath the rug. You know what I mean? Like what happened to JFK, what happened to MLK. It shouldn't. You know what I mean? This happened in broad daylight. The whole world has saw what happened to Charlie Kirk. And for us not to get the truth and transparency, it's it's beyond me. And I just hope that we really find out like what really happened and the truth, because I don't know. Let me know if you watched that interview with Erika Kirk on that town hall on CBS. I did. I watched the whole interview entirety, and I'm going to give you my opinion about it. To be honest with you, it was performative. Again, I'm not trying to be insensitive of Erika Kirk, because she did broke down into tears and stuff like that, and that broke me as you know, she's a widow, she's a mother. But again, that to me, it was all scripted. It was pre-recorded. Questions was given to her ahead of time. It just looked performative to me, in my opinion. You can definitely check it out, and you can just give me your input about it the next time I go live. But I didn't feel like, again, I don't want to be insensitive here, because you know those were real tears that I saw. But I don't know. I just feel like it just didn't look genuine to me. It really don't. For me, I don't want to be getting questions ahead of time. You know, if my husband was assassinated, just ask me some real questions so people can see my authentic self. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not Candace. I'm not saying Erika Kirk was not authentic, but everything was just prepped ahead of time. You know what I mean? So anyone who read the questions and then the answers are given to them, you can I want to say fake the emotion. You can get those emotions out of you. You know what I mean? You can think of something, think of anything, and then start, you know, feeling those emotions and start crying. Does that make sense? Not saying that Erika did that, but I don't know. I just didn't like the interview at all. I really don't. And I just feel like all that energy that Erika Kirk spent, I just don't know why she didn't spend that energy on the head security of Charlie Kirk's team, because they were wrong. They were in the fault, because that's their job to protect Charlie Kirk. It's their job to secure and make sure the rooftop was good. It was their job. But then the head of security, Brian Harpo, would blame the chief police. I can't even think of his name right now. He blamed him when it's your job. Charlie Kirk paid you lots of money to do your job, and you and your team didn't do that. You failed. You failed, Charlie Kirk. His blood is on your hands and your team's hands. Okay, and for Brian not to take accountability and say, you know what, I fucked up. My team messed up. We should have checked the rooftop. We should have followed up with the chief police of UVU. We should have done that. But then all he said, all the chief told you, well, I got you, in a text message, which let me just read to you really quick. I got you. It's like, it's just absurdity. And I just feel like there's no accountability. If I was the head of security, and I'm protecting someone that I work for, and I'm communicating with the chief of police and saying, well, can we have drones? You know, there's certain drones you're allowed in campuses, because, again, there's big drones, there's small drones. Again, I'm not familiar with the drones, but my brother-in-law have one, okay, and he does real estate. So there's certain requirements that you need to fill out in order to use those drones. He could have easily used that, because he said in his interview on Sean Ryan's that he had a big drone that he couldn't use. Okay, he had a small drone. So he could have easily walked into the UVU office, fill out that policy and procedure form, and he could have used the drones. But he chose not to. Okay, instead he wants to blame the chief of police, which is utterly wrong, in my opinion. So this is the text message that Brian sent to Chief Long. Hello, Chief Long. We received this message today from the student group. There is a student roof access pretty close where Charlie Kirk will be set up at Utah Valley. Center has a couple of staircases that goes up to the hall walkway on the roof. You want access to the roof? That's what Chief Long responded back to Brian. I was told the students have access above us. Is this true? It would be nice either to control the access or allow one of my guys to be there as well, if possible. Then Chief Long responded, I got you. Now, if someone send that text message to me back saying, I got you, I'm going to text back, what do you mean you got me? Clarification. You know, what you meaning that are you going to take care of this? Or meaning that, do I have access and my guys to check the rooftop? You get what I'm saying? So basically when Chief Long texted Brian that I got you, then Brian said, okay, so that means Brian, in Brian's head, he's saying, Chief Long said, well, he got this, so I'm done with it. Case closed, my job is done. No, that's not what it means. You should follow up. He didn't even follow up. So because Chief Long said, I got you covered, that means shit. He's a grown man. That's what I'm saying, the stupidity, okay? You should have texted him back, what do you mean I got you? Please clarify for me, because I don't understand these text messages. And what's weird about it, they didn't even do a sweep before the event started. They didn't even check the perimeter of the area. Again, failure. That's what I'm saying. If that was me and that was Erika, and I would be livid. I would put that same energy that she's putting towards Candace Owens, I would have put it to the head of the security. Like, how dare you not do your job and check the perimeter of where my husband was going to be doing his event? Why you didn't check the rooftop? Why are you lying saying there was drones or where there's no drones? Why you didn't follow up? You dropped the ball. That's what I would have said if I was Erika. And if I was Erika, I would have fired him and fired his team. But she's not doing that. She's being soft and nice. I'm like, no, my husband died. He got assassinated in front of the world. And your team dropped the ball. You're fired. That's what I would have said. I don't understand this. I would be upset. I would be livid. But she didn't do that. She didn't do that. All her energy is just going on to Candace, when she should spend that energy on other people who's responsible. Now, I'm not saying that they killed him, but they're negligent. Okay, they were negligent on their part. They should have been fired. Turning Point USA. I'm not saying people were involved in the death of Charlie Kirk, but their behavior and what they're doing doesn't make any sense. That should be suspicious. You should rule everyone out. Everyone's a suspect, including me. And I wasn't even there. That didn't even hurt anyone. But what you get what I'm saying? People should be ruled out. You should not just say, okay, you're my family. I trust you. What the hell? Money rules all evil. I don't understand why people don't understand that. It's money involved. This is a multi-billion-dollar organization that Charlie Kirk started at the age of 18 with no college degree. It's always about money. I don't understand why people don't wrap their mind about that. It's always about money. No, Turning Point people are good. Yeah, some of them, of course. But there's some bad apples in that organization. And you have to rule everyone out. And if they are involved in stealing money, then they should be fired. They should be exposed. Saying they failed at securing him. Yes, absolutely. And I just don't understand why she's not seeing that. I really don't. And again, I don't know who's talking in her ears. Maybe, and this is just a speculation, maybe the donors are saying something to her. I don't know, because to me, what she's doing doesn't make any sense to me as a widow and as a CEO. It doesn't make any sense. Not questioning people's bad behavior, not questioning why people are lying about certain things. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Again, Erika seems like a very smart, intelligent woman, but maybe she's naive. I don't know. Maybe they're telling her some bullshit lie and she's believing. Maybe she's scared. Maybe she's threatened that if she says too much or she fight back, they might hurt her and her babies. I don't know. These are all the possibilities, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, we want truth. We don't want lies. And what Turning Point is doing, their employees, they're giving us lies, and we're not falling for it. You know what I mean? I know I go back and listen to other commentators, what people have to say, because, everyone has a right to voice their opinions and say what they want to say, because that's the whole beauty of free speech and having that dialogue and having that conversation, which I love. And I just don't understand why. Again, it's not my job to convince people, but it's like 1 + 1 is 2. It's like, it's like putting a puzzle together. It's the common sense. I just feel like no one doesn't want to know the truth, and no one doesn't want common sense. They just want to believe the lies and believe the narrative. We got the guy, that's it, case closed. It shouldn't be that way. It should be that we should be asking questions. It's healthy to ask questions. It doesn't mean that we're accusing anyone, but if something doesn't make sense, we should ask questions. You get what I'm saying? Just like if you place an order, you ask questions about what you're going to order. It's anything else. And that is to understand why people don't see it that way. If you ask questions, you're against Israel, you're against you're a Jewish hater, you this and that. When that's not what people are saying. That's not what I'm saying. Clearly, you know what I mean. If I ask certain questions, doesn't mean I hate anyone. No, I'm just asking a question because it doesn't make any sense to me. Please explain it to me. You answer the question, then we move on to the next question. But when you get defensive and hostile and angry and blowing up for no reason, then to me, you look suspicious. Instead of being cool and collected, just answer the simple question and move on. But that's not what Turning Point employees are doing. They're not doing that. So yes, we have the right to ask questions, especially people that's donating to them. You know what I mean? If you're donating your hard-earned money and people asking questions and you just refuse to answer, you just turn around and say, "Well, this is not true. This is not what we're going to talk about. We're just going to focus on building." What did Erika said? Building a foundation, whatever. I'm just paraphrasing here, and that's it. We're not going to ask questions. No, that's not how it works. It doesn't work that way. Again, this is not 1960s. We're not in the 60s anymore. This is 2025, going to 2026. Okay, this is the new modern age now. Okay, when people have cell phones, social media, it's everywhere. So I don't understand why people think that we're dumb and we're stupid, that they can try to cover things up and think that we don't have common sense or we lack of common sense. It's not happening. Again, this is not the 60s. This is 2025. This is the new modern age now. And people need to get on board because we're not stopping. We're not stopping until we get to the bottom of the truth. Now, we may not, the people that were involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, they may not be arrested. That's just my opinion. They may not be arrested, but they need to be exposed, though. We need to know that the government was involved in this, which clearly, I believe the government was involved in this. 1,000%, the government was involved in this. 100%. And no one can tell me otherwise. Just imagine if the government is involved in this. Charlie Kirk died for nothing because he's the one who worked so hard, you guys, to appoint Donald J. Trump to president and his team. Worked so hard. So just imagine if the government was involved in this. Charlie Kirk died for nothing. He died for what? And that will make the government very angry if the people found out that was true. Think about that. It will lose all credibility to the government. And that's why the government don't want this to come out. They said when Candace Owens said that there was a hit on her in assassination, the government knew. What did they do? Nothing. What did Kash Patel say on Megyn Kelly? Oh, we're going to investigate, we're going to find. When did they even reach out to her? They want her dead because she's saying too much. She's saying things that make sense and that terrifies them. Because think about it. If she was lying, let's say I'm playing devil advocate here. If everything was a lie, why even try to put a hit on her? Why try to shut her up? Why even say all these things if it was a lie? You get what I'm saying? They would just leave it alone. But no, they're scared and they're frightened that she's getting to the truth. She's smart, okay? Like I said, she's playing chess. The rest of them playing checkers, okay? She's one step ahead. She's not a dummy. She's very strategic. She's very smart, and she knows what she's doing. Point blank, period. She's not going to reveal everything, okay? She want to make sure that she fact checks. She want to make sure that she's getting everything correct. Now, do we all make mistakes along the way? Yes, we do. That's why we correct ourselves and we let people know, listen, I made a mistake. But because you make one tiny mistake or one error, that's mean that you're a liar. That's mean that you don't know what you're talking about. Get out of here. That's their trick. That's their ammo. Oh, she lied about this. She didn't get this right, so she's not telling the truth. So don't listen to her. Don't follow her. That's not how it works. A lot of people make mistakes. We're human. You get what I'm saying? We're all human. We're not perfect, but we correct ourselves and we make sure that we get it right and we correct ourselves the next time. So I'm not buying it. You know what I mean? I stand for truth. I stand for transparency, and we all need to know because what happened on 9/10 should have never, ever happened, period. It shouldn't. And unfortunately it did. And the whole world saw this man got executed publicly, and we deserve to know the truth because this should never ever happen again. No one should be shot for believing something that you believe in. No one should be murdered because you have a different stance on Israel. Doesn't mean that you're a Jewish hater. It doesn't mean that you're anti-Semitic. It doesn't mean none of that. I made it very clear. I don't like the Israel government. I don't like what the government is doing while they're inserting themselves in us and Americans. I don't like the fact that our government is giving money to the Israel when they should be giving money to us, America first. Why they're putting Israel first? That I don't like. Nothing against the people. I have nothing against the people. And I made that very abundantly clear. I don't. I just don't like the Israel government. I don't like what they're doing at all. Period. Period. And that's my stance on that. Doesn't mean that I'm a Jewish hater. Doesn't mean I don't like. I have Jewish friends. You know what I mean? So for anyone to say that about me or about anyone, you just look foolish. You just look foolish and ignorant and dumb and stupid for saying that. For me criticizing of Israel, of what's been going on in their country. They insert themselves here, so why I can't criticize them? They criticize us and they insert themselves in our business when they have no business doing that. So why we can't do the same? But if you do that, then we're a Jewish hater. Bye. Nonsense, 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 nonsense. All right, you guys. Let me know. Let me know what you think about everything and what do you believe that what's going to happen once the meeting is over between Candace Owens and Erika? Do you believe that Candace Owens is going to continue with her investigation of the murder of Charlie Kirk, or is Candace Owens going to give a little pushback and just say she's not going to investigate anymore, or Candace Owens is going to keep going? Like I said, I'm hoping and praying, and I'm praying very hard that it doesn't come to that. But we're not going to know until Candace Owens go live on her show, and she's going to talk about what transparent between her and Erika. We just got to wait and see what's going to happen. At the end of the day, it's God's hands, and at the end of the day, the truth will come out. It will, you know what I mean? They can lie and cover up and hide so much, but you can't hide from the truth. You can't hide from God's truth, and that's all we want. I just don't understand why people don't want that, why people are believing this narrative. But again, it's not for me to convince people. I'm following the evidence. I'm following the facts. I'm following what makes sense, and some people, they just don't want to believe it. They don't want to believe what they want to believe. It's like denial, basically. You know what I mean? There are people that are in denial, don't want to believe that their government may have something to do with Charlie Kirk's death. They don't want to believe that. You know what I mean? They believe what the feds are telling them, that they got the guy, they got Tyler Robinson, and that's fine. Some people don't believe that because what they're telling us, it doesn't make any sense, and it's all a lie. Let's see. He was on track to be president. Every Turning Point USA branch can easily turn into a campaign hub, but build something powerful. Now we need to keep a close eye on who they throw that power behind. Yes, I agree. I absolutely agree with you. At the end of the day, it's about power, money, elites. You know what I mean? That's what it is at the end of the day, and it's sad. You know what I mean? You would think after what happened last year to President Trump, of the attempt of his assassination and everything, you would think people will learn. You know what I mean? To come together and not be ruled by evil and ruled by money. But money rules all evil. Just like I said, the feds, they're like the devil. And what the devil do? Lie, steal, and kill. That's what the feds do. They lie, steal, and kill. Same thing, just like the devil. Lie, steal, and kill, and make you what's the word? The devil tried to portray something that's there, something that's good, and then once it's not, if that makes sense what I'm saying, and then they turn. You know what I mean? Same thing with the feds. Once they get what they want, then they turn on you, and then they leave you out there in the wolves. And that's what the devil do. That's exactly what the devil do. And I don't know. I don't know. It's just sad that it's sad that it comes to this. It's sad that we're both divided about this situation and everyone caring about the midterms and stuff like that. I'm sorry. Who gives a flying crap about the midterms? Okay, no one doesn't care about the midterm. I care about who killed Charlie Kirk. I care about that. I pray, I hope this never happens again. I pray that there will be, excuse me, accountability of what happened. That's what I care about. And I believe that's what the people care about as well. I don't think they care about some freaking midterms. Okay. And putting the blame on one person. It's just ludicrous to me. It's just ludicrous. But anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Thank you so much for joining and listening and commenting. I really appreciate each and one of you. And we just got to wait and see. And we're going to wait and see what's going to happen with Candace Owens and her private discussion with Erika Kirk. And, God bless her, Candace and Erika as well. And I just hope that God will shed light to Erika for her to see what's really happening. And again, maybe she's being fearful. Maybe she can't say too much because she has two small babies. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I'm just going by her action and her behavior. But at the same token, I understand she's a grieving widow, and we have to respect that, and we can't be down of disrespectful towards her because she is a grieving widow. However, she is a CEO too. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. And I will see you guys next time. Take care. God bless. And see you soon.